everyone, welcome to the Coach's Corner with Coach Lay of Magis Athletic Training. Today we're going to talk about how to create a proper warm-up and the importance of a warm-up. So before we do, I need a big favor from you. I need you guys to like, share, and to smash that subscribe button down below. So please, if you like the content that we are providing on this channel, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But with no further ado, let's get right into our subject matter for the night. So today we are going to talk about a warm-up. Why is it important to warm up? What is the objective of a warm-up? Why do I need to warm up anyway, Coach? I'm about to just go work out and crush my workout. Well, there's very important parts of that warm-up and what effect it is going to have on your actual workout or sports activity. So number one, the very first objective of a warm-up is to actually do just that, warm up. We want to increase the body temperature by 1 to 2 degrees. Why? Because the muscles' reaction, strength, power, elasticity, the ability to expand and contract and relax, those things are all temperature dependent. Number two, we want to make sure that that warm-up, it's preparing us for the actual workout. It's preparing us for the actual sports activity. That's why we warm up. That's why before the big game, we get on the sidelines and we're stretching it out. We're skipping it out. We're jogging it out. We are getting ready to get it in that game. So again, the purpose of a warm-up or the objective of a warm-up is twofold. It is to prepare you for either the workout or the sports activity that you're about to perform, and it's to increase the body temperature by 1 to 2 degrees. So we're going to move into the next part, and that is the positive effects of our actual warm-up. Number one, as I stated before, it's going to increase the muscle's ability to contract and relax even faster. So when we warm up, that muscle is going to be firing. Our central nervous system and peripheral nervous system is going to be firing. Those muscles are going to be responding. And when we call on those muscles to lift, move, or sprint, jog, whatever, those muscles are going to respond more readily. Number two, it's going to improve the power output and strength output of that muscle. So, perfect example, we all know that after we do some warm-up sets of bench press, we're able to generally lift heavier weights, move heavier weights. That's what a warm-up does. It increases power and strength outputs from those muscle groups. Number three, it increases the blood flow to the muscle, which goes back to number two, right? The muscle, as it's working, it's going to demand more oxygen, more blood flow, because that muscle is being worked. It's being asked to perform. So again, that warm-up is going to increase the blood flow to the actual muscle. Number four, that warm-up will allow the muscle to increase the range of motion by up to 20%. So we'll be able to get into deeper squats, better positions, because that muscle is going to be warm. It's going to increase the range of motion by about 20%. Let's think about this for a minute. Let's park right here. Let's think about a rubber band. If we put a rubber band in the freezer, leave it in there overnight, take it out, try to stretch it, what's going to happen? That rubber band will instantly snap. But if you take that rubber band out of the freezer and then put it under a hairdryer for about a few minutes, let it warm up, and then try to stretch it, what's going to happen? That rubber band will stretch. It's going to gain its elasticity. So a muscle is very similar to a rubber band. Its performance is very temperature driven, very temperature dependent. So as that muscle warms up, we can get deeper stretches, better positions and movements out of our body and joints. Also, it's going to increase our psychological preparedness for that workout or for that sport activity that we're about to perform. So again, as we're working out, we're getting our mind right. We're getting ready to attack our workout, to attack our game. We're looking to crush that workout mentally. We are looking to move that bar, move that weight, or move that opponent. You either lift the bar or that bar crushes you. So we are getting mentally ready to do battle. Now let's move into the next phase, the types of warm-ups. There are generally two types of warm-ups. The first warm-up is going to be a typical general warm-up. That warm-up is going to last about 5 to 10 minutes. It's not really attacking any specific body part. It may be, hey, I just walked into the gym, I jumped on the treadmill for about 5 to 10 minutes, now I'm going to go work out. Which is cool to a degree. That only addresses one part of the warm-up, and that's going to be increasing the heart rate, increasing the core body temperature. But there's other parts to the warm-up that you do want to address. However, for a general warm-up, that's not too bad. But when we go into our more specific warm-ups, those warm-ups are going to be slightly different in that they will have a general warm-up component to it, but this warm-up, instead of being 5 to 10 minutes, will be generally about 15 to 20 minutes. Why? Because that warm-up is going to incorporate A, the general warm-up, but B, it's then going to incorporate some very specific movements and activities that are going to be very specific to the workout that you're about to perform or to the sport that you are about to play. So when we're looking at a more specific workout, let's think about going to the gym for chest day, right? I warm up on the treadmill. I've raised my core body temperature, but now I'm about to go lift and do chest, right? So I may then start doing some mid-ball chest passes. Again, targeting my chest, my pecs. Or I may run out and do some push-ups. Again, something targeting and mimicking the exercises and movement patterns that I'm about to perform, and also targeting the muscle groups that I'm about to actually work. Let's move into part number 3 or part number 4. That's post warm-up. Now, post warm-up is also another critical component, because a warm-up, number one, should never, ever, ever, ever have a detrimental effect on the actual workout following the warm-up or on the sports activity that is following the warm-up due to fatigue or overworking the muscle. So again, our warm-up is designed, or should be designed, to actually enhance the work that's following the actual warm-up, not to take away from it. So we shouldn't be working out or warming up to the effect that we're so fatigued that when it comes to us to actually do the work, that we can't perform the work optimally and at peak performance due to the actual warm-up itself. Also, a warm-up, number 2, should only, the transition between a warm-up and the actual workout should only be about 4 to 5 minutes. Why, Coach Lay? Because, again, the muscle's ability to perform is going to be very temperature-driven. The elasticity of that muscle, very temperature-driven. The power and strength output of that muscle, very temperature-driven. So we don't want to have a large gap of time between the actual warm-up and the actual workout for the body to actually cool down, for that muscle to start to lose its range of motion and elasticity. So again, that warm-up should be designed to enhance either A, the workout, or B, the actual sports activity. And number 2, that warm-up should be followed immediately by the actual workout. There should not be a large gap of time between the warm-up and the actual workout. So now let's get into my favorite part, the actual workout. We're going to talk about the ramp methodology. The ramp method actually is an acronym for raise. So these are the 4 different parts of the actual warm-up that we want to address. So number 1, we want to raise the body temperature by 1 to 2 degrees. We want to increase the heart rate. We want to increase our respiration or oxygen capacity. We want to increase the blood flow to the muscles. We also want to improve and increase the joint viscosity. So when we're talking about this part or raise, this is where your general workout comes into play. This is where we start to just jump on the treadmill and do a little quick jog or do some jumping jacks, something of that nature. Again, in this particular phase, we're going to be increasing the core temperature. We're going to increase the heart rate. We're going to get that, increase the oxygenation of the muscles, increase the blood flow, and we're going to get those limbs to be a little bit more limber and those joints moving a little less creakiness. All right, so now let's move on to the second part of that warm-up, or second phase of that warm-up. That's A. We want to activate the muscle. When we're talking about activating the muscle, this is where we're going to start to incorporate our static stretching, our foam rolling. So a static stretch is where we are taking a stretch and we are holding that stretch for about 30 seconds. So we're going to move into a stretch and we're just going to hold it there for about 30 seconds. We're going to go through about maybe 4 or 5 stretches depending on what's being performed that day following the workout. But again, a static stretch is a stretch where you're just going to go into a stretch position. You're going to go to the end of the range of motion of that particular joint and muscle, and you're just going to hold it there for about 30 seconds. Then from there, we want to mobilize that muscle. So these are stretches where you're going to actually go through the stretch and go through the entire range of motion, but you're not actually going to hold that range of motion. So this may be a knee tuck where you're going to grab your knee, you're going to pull it slightly to get a full stretch of that glute, and then you're going to release that stretch. So again, you're going to take that joint through the entire range of motion and then return it back to its neutral position. Now, also one of the key elements that I like to point out in this particular part is that when we are going through those ranges of motions in the mobilization of the muscle or the joint, we want to make sure that we are controlling the movement entirely through the entire range of motion. So from start to finish, we should be able to control that movement. That movement should not be controlled through, should not be controlling us. We should be controlling that movement. And lastly, we're going to potentiate the muscle. So this part is going to be, again, where we start to incorporate our sport-specific movements. This is where we're going to start to incorporate our specific movements to our actual workout. Also, it's going to start to increasingly get a little bit more difficult here. So you may go up to maybe about a 60% rate of perceived exertion. And here is where you start to incorporate those exercises. So again, when we talked about a chest day, this is where I'm going to do a med ball chest pass. This is where I may do some push-ups. This may be where I'm doing some, on a leg day, I may be doing some A skips, right? So let's just go back through this whole model and let's go through a leg warm-up so that we can see exactly how we're going to incorporate this. So here, we're going to raise the body temperature. How we're going to raise the body temperature? We're going to jump on the treadmill for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, right, to warm it up, and maybe do some jumping jacks, maybe about 20, 25 jumping jacks. We're then going to activate the muscle doing some static stretching. So this may be where I may straddle and hinge my hips and bend over, reaching for the ground, and I'm going to hold that for about 30 seconds. Again, I may do some calf stretches. I may do some quad stretches here. Again, these are all stretches that we're going to hold for about 30 seconds. Then we're going to mobilize that. Then we're going to mobilize that muscle and that joint. So this is where, excuse me, this is where I like to do a lot of partner stretches. So this is maybe me laying on my back, facing upward, facing the ceiling, and then having someone raise my leg, straight leg, all the way up as far as they can move it through the range of motion, holding it for about 5 to 7 seconds and then bringing it back down, or also doing something what we call PNF stretching, and this is a contract and release of the actual muscle and increasingly moving the muscle through a greater range of motion. Then we're going to potentiate the muscle, and this may be where I may be doing a skip, a B skip, or doing a quick little sprint, a 5-yard sprint, back and forth a couple times, and then I'm going to transition directly into my actual workout. I'm only going to let maybe 4 to 5 minutes lapse between the actual warm-up and the workout. So there you have it, how to ramp up your warm-up. So again, guys, if you like the content that we're providing, please make sure to like, share, and to smash that subscribe button. If you have any questions about the content that we're providing, please make sure to post your comments down below. And also, if you'd like to see us go over any subject matter or question that you have concerning your fitness, please place that comment down below. We'll make sure to answer all comments. This is Coach Lay with Magis Athletic Training, reminding you, that's all folks, reminding you to always live, love, and train Magis. Coach Lay, out.